AJ in Dubai, making moves Broadway. Real estate king, stack bricks all day. Bought a crib so tall, can't see the ground. Cash flow endless, funds never drown. Dubai skyline, Anthony Rain.
And we are back with a new episode, but this one feels very special. This one, I'm interviewing my own blood, my own brother, Mr. Roy AJ, the new phenomenon in Dubai, the rising star of Dubai.
What's going on?
Thanks a lot for coming on the show. It's such a pleasure and an honor to have you here. I don't know, I feel a bit emotional because I'm full of pride seeing my younger brother doing what he's doing, and this fills my heart. So, thanks again for coming on the show.
Honestly, it was long overdue, to be honest. 10 years. Yeah.
So, let's start by talking about you. I want you to introduce yourself to the audience. I want you to tell them how many years you've been trying to come to Dubai and find something from back from 2016. Tell us everything.
Okay, so my name is Roy AJ. So I've been trying to come to Dubai ever since I came for a visit one time to see you actually. This was I think 2017 or 16. I just came for a visit, and just like everyone else in the world, whenever you land to Dubai, you'll fall in love with it like instantly. And yeah, it happened to me. And since then, I was trying to find something. But back then, I was an interior architect, so I didn't know anything about real estate, and I didn't even thought about it, once. So I tried a lot, and there was some problems. First I couldn't because I was still finishing my master's degree, which I found out later it was useless. But again, that's fine. So then I've tried for other fields and stuff. I worked here also in 2019 in a maintenance company. It worked out well for a year. I'm sure you still remember. And then
I don't want to remember one of my shittiest investments. I don't want to remember.
I know, but we've learned from it. That's fine. Okay, gained some experience. Learned just a little bit about real estate back then. But again, I mean, the inspiration or what taught me it was you, and you know that because I was seeing you at work and seeing your your circle of friends and investors and everything. It got me excited, but still I didn't know how to start because everyone sees real estate agents as the millionaires and the entrepreneurs and everything, but it's not. That's not the truth. That's far away from it, and it's not that easy as people think. So then I came back here and I started working also as an employee, a salaried employee, 9 to 5, which was okay, just to learn and to get the curve and the hang of it. But then later on, if you remember when I came back to Lebanon for a visit, I just had not an idea, but it was like a subconscious, okay, for more than 4 or 6 months that I need to change something because I cannot I cannot live my life like that, just every single day doing the same exact routine, which for me it wasn't working. So then I came to you and I told you, listen, I'm gonna make the switch. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna join real estate finally. And I remember how happy you were, which made me even realize that it is actually a good idea. So yeah, and since then I never looked back. I started with support of yourself, my wife, my friends, my close friends, and everything. And it wasn't that easy in the beginning, but at the same time, I knew because I've seen a lot of big people how they made it, and I know that it's all about time. That's it. It's gonna happen. Maybe it takes me a year, maybe it takes someone else a couple of days, but at the end of the day, it's gonna happen. And here we are today, working together at Brothers.
Bro, most people think that I made all of this success in 2 months after working. No one has an idea that I was beaten up for the first 4 years of my life. And when I saying beaten up, this word is even an understatement to the actual reality. But since I am a bias, this is my show. I cannot really speak about myself. I need to speak about the guest, yourself.
No, actually, I was gonna ask you something. Since you're talking about it, I would love if we can have like a small comparison because you came here in 2014. Okay, today we're in 2025. Okay, let's say you came in 2015 just to make the math easier. 10 years. Okay, how was the market then and how was it today? Because people still
Terrible.
think
It was terrible. Like you guys had it so easy, man, post COVID. When I came into Dubai, I landed October 2014, 23rd of October 2014. And I remember immediately I jumped to real estate because it was the only way to make money, man. Let's be very honest. I've never been a salaried person or work as a timing because I'm moody, you know, I work based on lots of stuff. So anyway, when I joined the industry, it was terrible. It was just like properly dipping. Why? Because back in 2013, we got the announcement of the expo, and then all of the properties shot 25% immediately. There was very limited inventory back then. And then the market corrected itself that, yeah, okay, you guys got the expo, but for the landlords, doesn't mean that you can shoot your prices. So there was a huge correction in the market. People couldn't make a sale. Prices were terrible. We were focusing on rentals, to be very honest with you. Rentals was the bread and butter. And also, rents were not as easy because you had to convince the landlord that their asking price was unreal and they have to bring it down. So, anyway, it's kind of today's market, but today's market, we have so many inquiries, so many buyers, so many tenants. But I mean, price wise, whenever you look at it, you will always see they compare it to 2015. Why? Because 2015 was the peak of the prices back then. So yeah, it was very hard for us. I worked for the first 2 years and a half or 3 years just in leasing, just to make money because there was no other way. And then after it, I jumped into sales mid 2017, and it was also terrible. I remember back then it used to take us 2 to 3 weeks to close one studio in Danube, which was the most affordable and the best payment plan, which was the 1%. It's still till today. But today, like they sell 100 per hour. Back then, it used to take 2 to 3 weeks of non-stop viewings and pitching and numbers in order for us to close a studio to make 4 5,000 dirhams as a commission. So yeah, it was terrible. But in a way, this is what built the foundation, the core. This is what made us fighters to keep pushing and not surrendering until the great days came in 2020, and then everyone took what they deserve.
And I'm sure back then also Dubai wasn't on the map or on the radar like it was today. So right now,
Really, no. Like when we used to speak to people about Dubai, they were like, "Oh yeah, I know some people in Iraq." I'm like, "Yeah, but there's nothing related." You know, people didn't even know where Dubai is. People thought that we are riding camels all the time, and that no one knew what Dubai is. To be very honest with you, the awareness happened and post COVID, like because everyone was locked, and then I remember that only Dubai and Mexico were open in that summer of 2020, and this is where most people started coming and they understood what Dubai is, and they were like, "Oh wow, this is paradise, this is heaven. It's super clean. We have amazing infrastructure." They were looking even at the prices; they were peanuts. Payment plan, they were ridiculous. Pay 20 or 25%, take your keys, the remaining on 5 years post, and this is what made the market really explode. But yeah, back then people didn't understand. Whoever we called used to tell us, "You guys are scammers," and I have a friend who lost money in Dubai. And man, like once you're doing that phone call, you were expecting hell's door to be hell's to be open on us. Yeah, it was terrible, honestly.
Speaking of phone calls, because I mean, I'm sure you've heard it as well that a lot of newcomers, new agents, they always say the leads are terrible. I'm only receiving, let's say, 5 leads per day. How am I supposed to close? But they don't understand that back in your days, there was no such thing as leads or a marketing campaign or Instagram.
There were no leads at all. So when I started, what we used to do, we used to call existing landlords, the one that already owns a property, and we will ask this landlord, like, "We're just calling you to see if you need our help because let's say I'm a JBR specialist, so I'm just calling you to find out about this property. Do you need my help renting it? Do you need my help selling it? Do you need my help in anything?" So we're just trying to build rapport with clients, bring that relationship. But just like everyone was upset from the market, buyers were saying like Dubai is really expensive. We cannot buy in these rates. Tenants were really finding it difficult to be leasing on such prices. And the landlords were really convinced that the market is still up And if I sell on this price or if I rent on this price, I'm losing money. I shouldn't be doing that. So we were kind of stuck between people just trying to match something, but yeah, it wasn't working, honestly. I'm telling you, like I've said it so many times. My first 3 or 4 years were like, maybe my first year was terrible. Later on, it got bit better, bit better, bit better. But when I started sales, my first year, I've done 4 sales. So I was doing in rentals way more than doing sales, you know? And then I was like, what have I done to myself, man? I had a proper system. Everything was working. I left it all to jump into sales to become a millionaire. But look at me, I'm even broke.
So I wanted to ask you, you know that the behavior of the buyers and investors has changed a lot since, let's say, 2015 till today. For example, right now, when we're having a phone call with someone who lives abroad, they at least they understand just a little bit, you know, or on what's going on in the market, or they have an idea, or they have someone who already invested. But I'm sure back then, in 2014 or 15, they didn't have any idea about, you know, Dubai in general.
And you're absolutely right. Yeah. So first we had to educate them about Dubai. We had to educate most of people that were telling us. I have a friend who lost his money in 2008 and 9, that back then there was not an escrow account, and then the government has made the escrow account in order for it to secure all of the investors so no one can lose their money again. We had to speak about what's coming. Lots of people were having this idea that people are leaving Dubai left and right, and all of these apartments are empty, which were not. But I don't know who started this, telling people that Dubai is gone, and it kind of started as a, yeah. And then we were always trying to pitch the expo, because expo was supposed to happen in 2019. So we were pitching the expo, and we were pitching what's coming with the expo and how many people they're gonna bring to the country, and from these people how many companies they will open, and all of sorts of stuff. So we're trying to create awareness, but the problem is that we were not talking to an audience where they didn't know anything. It's very easy to speak to an audience that doesn't know anything, because you're just inserting the data, the facts, the stuff, and they will get it. We were talking to an audience that was insisting that Dubai is gone, and all of us bloggers are just scammers trying to take their money, and we are blah blah blah. So it was very hard, but eventually, when you create your proper network, you will reach the people that they understand. So you were speaking about marketing. There was no marketing back then at all. We were just calling data, existing owners. And then after that, I stumbled to something called email marketing, which we used to put the list and then we blast out an email. And I tried it for a few months and it wasn't working for me, until I stumbled to someone really good in YouTube. I saw that video how they're using that mass emailing. It wasn't animation back then, but it was just to put some proper visuals where it's eye-catching, where we needed, for example, to use the color blue a lot because the blue color reflects into trust. For example, like Facebook, like Samsung, like all of this stuff. To start using yellow in some places where it gives that alert. So I learned all of this stuff and I started going really heavy on mass mailing. Okay. And when I started doing it, I started generating leads. Existing people who have units and they wanted more. So I kind of like jumped on it. And this was helpful for me. And then after that, we started using everything, SMS, Blast. We were using a bit of videos, where the broadcast list. So everything was coming from 17, 18, 19. So technology helped a lot. Whoever didn't use it, whoever said that this is a waste of time, are the same people who don't do videos nowadays. It's just like these guys, they lack the courage to be just in front of a camera. And whoever didn't and jumped on that wagon, they are laughing now. They got the result.
Exactly, exactly my point. Like, if you see that something is not working, like your company is not providing you with leads or something, do something about it. There are multiple sources of, to get leads from. You said something and it's very interesting because obviously I'm very new to real estate. Just I joined a couple of years ago, but the thing is that if you think about it right now, so right now it's easier to get clients or new inquiries or prospects, but it's harder to get a project. Why? Because sometimes the prospect needs time to understand the project, to think about it, to ask his wife, his family. But the thing is, and that if someone takes more than 10 minutes, then the property is gone. That's how it is today. And back then,
Now people understand that back then when we were okay, but back then we didn't also have this hype, to be very honest with you. Like if a developer used to launch a project, it used to take anywhere between 7 days to 10 days to be fully sold out, not 1 2 hours like what happens today. But still, I had people, replying to me after 6 months saying they are ready. And like, you're ready for what? He was like, that specific project. I'm like, buddy, they have launched over 30 projects after that. Like,
now it's time to resale.
you need to be accurate. Yeah, but this is also what it also was working against us. Like, back then when we used to speak to someone about a project and say, yes, I'm interested, I'm like, great, share with me your passport copy, please. And then the first question is like, what do you need from my passport copy? I'm like, I don't need anything from it. I need to submit it for a developer so they can run a security check, a background security check. And then if you tell us everything is fine, then we can buy a unit. Then, oh, okay, that makes sense. But some people are like, why you want my information? I'm like, I don't want it. This is the requirement.
Which is understandable.
When we tell, let's say the client that you need to transfer 30,000 dirhams or 40,000 dirhams to this account, they were like, yeah, but how can I make sure that this account is for this developer? I'm like, man, it clearly says that's the escrow account name, that's the project name, this is the name, this is the stuff. Lots of people were very skeptical.
Yeah, that's very understandable because
They were like, yeah, we're not in Dubai. I will not transfer money, but I'm coming after 2 months. I will come visit and buy it. I'm like, it's not going to be there after 2 months. They were like, yeah. Everyone says the same, but I know it's going to be there. And then 2 months later, project is gone.
yeah, and if you say that, they think you're a pushy guy trying to make the sale, but it's not. That's the truth. And I mean, but
Bro, there is difference. Like I've seen pushy, man. I've seen pushy a lot. Like I've sat with so many sales directors from developers, and they were like, if you give me the check right away, I will go get this approval for you. I fucking hate it, man. I hate this style. It never works. And if I want to buy something and a manager comes and say, give me the payment right away, I will just leave the place. But for us, after pitching the project for like 4 or 5 days and selecting units and telling the guy, this is my preferred unit, take it, you will make money. Going to that stage, asking for money was a normal process, but people back then also didn't get it because they had the idea that there are so many scams happening in Dubai, and Dubai is only glamorous and shiny, and when people will put their money in, they will lose it all. Thank God it doesn't exist anymore. People understood the vision. People understood that this city is not waiting for anyone. It's a very fast moving train. Whoever is on the train will be end up laughing. Whoever will miss the train, unfortunately, you didn't have the guts enough to be riding this train. So now, for you guys, I'm sure you don't need to pitch Dubai. Everyone knows what Dubai is. You don't need to pitch real estate properties. Everyone has seen that crazy elevation. Like, for example, the stuff that I bought in 2018, I made over 400% profit on it selling it now, which is nuts. Even myself, I wasn't believing the offers I'm getting. I'm like, really, man? I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna quadruple my money. Like, this is unreal. Like in real estate, if you make 20%, that's happy days, man. I'm telling you, to make 400%, this is ridiculous. And this is even the talk of all of the big investors. They say that what's happening in Dubai is unprecedented. No one has heard of it before. Even science cannot explain it, which is true.
but that's what happens when you have a very proactive government with a vision. It's very simple. That's it.
Correct.
And
And I'm telling people, sorry to cut you off. I'm telling people this is not even a bit of it. So the full vision is until 2040. So far, we haven't done anything. What you are seeing is not even 20% of the plan. There is so many stuff coming, and you will see a lot of stuff.
correct.
So either jump now or keep watching.
Exactly. Benefit from the wave. Um, I wanted to ask you something. And because I've learned so much from you, and I'm still learning, and because you've been here for a very long time, how about if you tell me what is something that you regret, or to rephrase it, if you had to start over, okay, what would you change?
Not really anything, because the way I have done it, I isolated myself and I told myself, I'm not here just to survive. I am here to make a career, and I'm here to make sure that I'm gonna be having a very early retirement of my life. So when I moved to Dubai, I was almost 30 years old. So I said to myself, I'm gonna sacrifice 10 years. And this 10 years, I'm gonna work my soul out. I'm gonna be working at least 16 to 18 hours a day. I'm gonna get obsessed. I'm gonna make so much money that I don't have to work for the rest of my life. And that's exactly what I have done. So the way I have done real estate, I don't think I will change anything about it, but just like I will tell myself, instead of spending few years or multiple years in rent, maybe you should have jumped into sales earlier. But again, this is just like assumption, because end of the day, maybe those years of rental made me understand people, human behavior, how to speak to an Indian, how to speak to an Arab, how to speak to an American, how to speak to German. All of these guys are totally different. Sometimes we joke between us as Arabs, but if we say one word, same word to an Indian, maybe he will be offended, or to a European. So you had to learn all of these nationalities, man. We have over 200 nationalities in Dubai. So yeah, I don't know what I would change, but to be very honest with you, I'm extremely happy from the outcome. I think even what I had in my mind as a target to reach, I even exceeded it by miles. And I still think that still the city has so much to grow and so many opportunities to be coming along. And now it's being on the radar from the top players. Trump is eyeing Dubai. Elon Musk is eyeing Dubai. Larry Fink is eyeing Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Mr. Wonderful is eyeing Dubai. So, I mean, all of the huge names on the planet, they are seeing Dubai as the new place. They're even promoting it as the new place. So I think all of that escalation happened is amazing, but we're gonna still see another double up, triple up, quadruple. It's gonna keep going all the way up. Okay, I'm not telling people like buy a property today and in 5 years it's gonna explode. You will make 400%. None of us can tell. And if I had the gift to, or that blessing to foreseen the future, what will happen, I will sell everything I have. I will even sell my own kidneys and I will invest it into that property that will do well. But we follow market trends. We follow the relocation happening in the country. And based on the relocation, we can tell if that demand is still way higher than the supply. Sorry, or it's regulating or all of this stuff.
Correct. Like I always say, like under promise, over deliver. And since we spoke about the 2040 plan, like whenever also I guide someone, I always tell them, if this project is aligned with the 2040 plan, if it's a part of a mega city, if it's part of the vision, then it is a good idea. If it's just another building somewhere, then fine, you will get rent from it. That's it.
Now, let me flip the question on you. What are the hurdles you're facing in nowadays market?
Listen, I'm enjoying every second of it. Okay, just to start from that, and I know that it's not the easiest job, but you have to learn how to enjoy it. Like for example, one day I'm like the king of the world. Okay, unstoppable. The other day I'm like getting beaten down every single second, and let down constantly. But that's fine. That's part of it. And don't forget that I was an employee for more than 12 years. Like I was kept in an office for so much time. So now if you tell me have 100 meetings per day, 100 calls, I'm happy. I don't care. I want to be out. Exactly. Like I don't stop. Even at night during the day, when even sometimes when we're having lunch together as family, I just I tell you guys sorry, I have to leave, and I leave just for a quick meeting and come back, and I'm enjoying every single second of it. And also we all know that there might be like a correction, there might be a small dip. That's fine, whatever. It's healthy. We need it. It happened before, and Dubai learned from it. And yeah, that's it.
Man, I'm waiting for something like that to happen. I've been waiting for it for 2 years. I'm cash, I'm liquid. I want the prices to dip a bit so I can re enter. It's not happening. It's not gonna happen in 25. It's not gonna happen in 26. Maybe in Q4 2026, if that relocation to Dubai has kind of slowed down, maybe we're gonna find a bit of a correction. But from now until end of next year, the way stuff are happening, you're not gonna see any correction or anything happening. Now, what I'm seeing, what I am facing as issues in this market, is like by the time I memorize a project, it's getting sold out.
Yeah, correct.
This is my main issue. Okay, so back then we had we had 3 or 4 projects, let's say a month. Now we're having this a day, so it's becoming like really nuts, you know?
You have a project every 48 hours, and the thing is that there are a lot of new developers also, which we don't even bother to learn because it's too much.
So now, after facing this issue, I decided to focus on the less known developers. So it's like when there's a project, when there's a hot cake, it has like 300-400 units and there's over 20,000 brokers working on it. I don't bother because I know the ratio to get a unit is 0.3. So I'm working into less popular developers where I see this new guys coming. They have great quality. They want to prove a point that we are here and we are here to compete. This is the developers that I'm focusing on. And these developers are flexible on the payment plan. Let's say if you want to buy 3, 5, 10 units, these guys are flexible. While if you go now to the big players and say, hi, I want to negotiate, they will kick you out. They were like, there's a,
Even if you buy a full building, they will
yeah,
negotiate.
they were like, there is a line of buyers waiting outside. Do not negotiate. This is our price. This is our payment plan. Take it or bye bye. So this is what's happening in the market, that I'm finding difficulties really just to grasp these projects. Like every week I go to Google Earth and I start looking at the project one by one and seeing the location of this and seeing the location of that, because it's becoming nuts. Yeah, those launches are becoming really nuts to even not to
No, even if
comprehend,
you buy
not
it,
to
even if you buy a
comprehend,
full
but to
building, I won't
memorize, to
negotiate
get
with you.
that layout, to do that stuff. Yeah, it's not as easy as before. There is so many. However, the big ones are standing. The luxurious one are standing, and it's still very enjoyable to be working with them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just saw yesterday there was like more than 900 something off-plan projects, and like right now, in the moment, like how how can you even start to read them at least?
Tell
You know,
me,
so
tell me, tell me your opinion about the branded residents. What do you think about the branded residents?
so there's two things I'm gonna say about branded. First of all, uh, I hate when someone calls a project branded when they only put a logo on a building. That's something I can never work on and something I hate a lot. Like when I see just a regular building and a developer comes and put a logo and then for them that's branded, that's not a brand. The brand is someone, and I'm an interior architect, so I know what I'm talking about. So a brand is someone, when you open the main door and you enter, you can smell the brand, you can see it, you can feel it. Okay, not just about color schemes or just about branded tiles that's not it. You have to know without seeing the name that it's branded, and we have a lot. For example, like Jepa and Co, like Bugatti, like Elisab, some project, we have a lot of that. But some other developers, what they're doing right now is that they only put the name, okay, or they put, you know, the logo or the signage on the reception, and that's it, that's a brand. For me, that's nothing. It doesn't make sense. Why am I paying a big premium for just a normal building? You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the brand for me is something very rare, and it's something you don't see a lot in the world, not just in Dubai, and it will always have value. That's my opinion on brand.
You've been doing real estate now for what? Almost what?
Almost 2 years.
Okay. I remember you started in Jan 24, correct?
Yeah.
Jan 24. So yeah, we're looking at 18 months, a year and a half. Great.
Yeah, yeah.
What was the mistake that taught you everything? What was that mistake where you were like, okay, thank God it happened. I learned a lot from it.
Uh, it's not a mistake, but what I've learned is that I don't have to do what everyone else is doing. And when I first started, of course, I mean, I didn't understand anything, I just learned some books and saw some podcasts and that's it. But I need to implement it. So at the time, I was doing what everyone is doing, which is cold calling, which is the regular marketing campaigns and everything. And I was attending every single briefing, every single meeting, every single thing because I thought that I have to, like it's a must. But turns out it's not. The majority of it was a waste of time. If you stick to something and you focus on one aspect and you master it, then that's it. That's all you need. You don't have to be all over the place all the time, 24/7. It doesn't work. So when I decided to choose what I want to focus on, like for me, I want to focus on clients. That's it. I want to give them my time. I want to give them all my guidance, knowledge. I want to spend time with them, build the relationship with them, and that's it. It's not about volumes anymore. It's not about the calls every single day, 100 calls. And it works with some people. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that we don't have to, like, all of us do the same thing.
Tell me, what do you foresee in the market? What's coming? It's okay. We're not gonna hold you accountable. I'm just trying to get your professional opinion.
Now, if something I don't understand, I would just say no. But this is just predictions right now, okay? So for me, like you said, based on the 2040 plan, and it's something that I've learned that always trust the government, always trust the ruler, always trust the visionaries that are ruling this country because we've seen
They deliver. They deliver. Maybe something get delayed a bit or whatever, but they deliver. Whatever they say, they do.
they deliver, they overachieve also. So for me, uh, I'm starting to see the 2040 plan being implemented. Like you said, it's just the beginning, okay? But still, like for example, Palm Jabal Ali, this is part of it, like building 400% in water. So we're starting to see it. The greenery in Dubai, we're starting to see it more. The flying taxis, add more transportation. The metros, they're gonna be more than double, and we start to see the blue line now working on it, and then more will follow. So, and the loop by Elon Musk, and more things. I don't want to name everything. So once you see that there's a vision way bigger than us, we're not talking about developing a building. We're talking about developing a country. Filled of districts, filled of cities and mini cities and many communities. So when you see that, you know that you're in good hands and you still have room to evolve and make money. So for me, the market is really good. It's gonna continue to thrive. Okay. If a correction happens, fine. That's good for us. It's not a big problem. But with everything that's happening, I'm sure that we're gonna bounce back faster than ever.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, as you heard it, this is Roy AJ, the founder of the AJ Brothers. My brother, I just want to tell you that I'm extremely proud of you, extremely proud of what you're doing, and I know that you're going to be having a way brighter future. Even the one that I had is nothing comparing to what you're going to be having. So thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing your insights, and we're looking forward to keep seeing all of your socials.
Thank you so much for having me. And like I said, it's long overdue this podcast. And thank you for inspiring me in the first place to to become who I am right now.
My pleasure, my brother. My pleasure. Guys, hope you enjoyed this episode and see you in the next one.
AJ in Dubai, making moves Broadway. Real estate king, stack bricks all day. Bought a crib so tall, can't see the ground. Cash flow endless, funds never drown. Dubai skyline, Anthony raining. Got the